Welcome back to Change Your Life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Roosevelt Dime value coins. In this video, we'll explore the worth, iconic design, hidden treasures, and shocking history behind the top 3 most valuable and expensive Roosevelt Dimes from the United States of America. The coins we'll be revealing today include 1975 Roosevelt Dime, no mint mark. 1976 Roosevelt Dime. 1976 Roosevelt Dime, no mint mark, Philadelphia. These coins are struck in copper-nickel-clad metal, the standard composition used for modern U.S. dimes. The reverse features the classic torch, olive branch, and oak branch design, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, an iconic image in American coinage. At first glance, these dimes may look completely ordinary. Many appear dirty, worn, and heavily circulated, showing decades of everyday use. But don't be fooled by their appearance. Certain mint varieties, rare errors, and high-grade condition examples have turned some of these small coins into serious collector treasures. Today, select specimens can be worth thousands, and in rare cases, even far more dollars depending on condition and rarity. So before you spend that old dime sitting in your pocket or coin jar, stick around, because you might be holding a hidden fortune in your hands. Backhand index pointing right first up. Coin number 1. Hold a 1975 Roosevelt Dime in your hand. Small. Silver in color. Light in weight. Easy to ignore. At first glance, it feels ordinary. Just another 10-cent coin from everyday change. The familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt faces left, calm and steady. On the back, the torch burns between an olive branch and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Millions of Americans have seen this design without ever stopping to really look at it. But here is where the story changes. In 1975, the United States was preparing for its bicentennial celebration. Coins dated 1975 were produced in massive numbers, especially at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia. Most of these dimes carry no mint mark at all. That was normal for Philadelphia circulation coins at the time. So a 1975 dime without a mint mark is common. Extremely common. Worth 10 cents in worn condition. But not every 1975 dime story is ordinary. There exists a legendary variation, a 1975 dime struck without the expected S mint mark on certain proof coins. These proof coins were made in San Francisco for collectors, and they were supposed to carry an S. A tiny number escaped without it. That missing letter, so small most people would overlook it, transformed an ordinary coin into one of the rarest modern U.S. mint errors ever discovered. And when rarity meets demand, value explodes. One authenticated 1975 no-S proof dime has sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Not because it is silver. Not because it is ancient. But because it should not exist. That tiny missing mint mark created mystery. Mystery created headlines. Headlines created desire. And collectors compete fiercely for coins that break the rules. Now here is the truth you need to hear slowly. If you have a 1975 dime with no mint mark from pocket change, worn, dirty, heavily circulated, it is almost certainly a normal Philadelphia strike. Copper-nickel clad. Billions were made. In circulated condition, it carries face value. 10 cents. The $1 million version is not the dirty coin from your drawer. It is a special proof coin, struck with mirror-like surfaces, razor-sharp detail, and originally sold in collector sets. The difference between 10 cents and 6 figures lies in the finish, the strike, and professional authentication. This is where many people get confused. They hear 1975 no mint mark and imagine every old dime is a hidden fortune. But collectors look deeper. They study surface quality. They check for proof characteristics, deep mirror fields, frosted devices. They verify weight and composition. And most importantly, they confirm authenticity through professional grading services. Still, that does not mean your coin is worthless to examine. Errors happen. Off-center strikes. Double dies. Clipped planchets. Die cracks. These are rare, but they do exist across many years of coinage. A genuine mint error, even on a circulated 1975 dime, can increase value significantly above face. Not millions, but sometimes hundreds. Occasionally more, depending on severity and demand. The Roosevelt dime itself carries deep historical meaning. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Roosevelt after his death, the design became a symbol of resilience during America's post-war era. By 1975, it was already a familiar part of American life. It passed through diners, gas stations, grocery stores. It jingled in pockets. It moved through decades quietly. And that is the beauty of coin collecting. Most coins are ordinary. But once in a generation, an anomaly appears. A missing letter. A wrong metal. A misaligned strike. And suddenly, something that looked insignificant becomes extraordinary. The dream of finding a life-changing coin is powerful. It fuels collectors across the United States. It drives treasure hunters to search rolls from banks. It inspires people to inspect old jars in their homes. That thrill, that possibility, is real. But knowledge is more powerful than hype. A worn 1975 Philadelphia dime without a mint mark is common. A pristine 1975 proof dime missing the S mint mark is rare and historically significant. The difference is microscopic, yet financially massive. So before you imagine billions overnight, pause. Look closely. Study the surface. Understand the type of strike. If you ever believe you have something unusual, something sharp, mirror-like, and clearly different from everyday change, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Have it evaluated professionally. Cleaning destroys collector value instantly. The story of the 1975 Roosevelt dime teaches one powerful lesson. Value is not always about age. Not always about metal. Not always about shine. Sometimes, value is about a mistake. A tiny missing letter. A moment at the mint. A coin that slipped through unnoticed. Most 1975 dimes will remain 10 cents forever. But a microscopic fraction, verified, authenticated, preserved, have reached auction prices that shocked the coin world. And that is why people keep looking. Because sometimes, history hides in plain sight. Take a slow look at a 1976 Roosevelt dime. Not fast. Not careless. Just hold it in your hand. You see the face of Franklin D. Roosevelt staring calmly into the distance. A leader who guided America through crisis. A symbol of resilience. Since 1946, his portrait has lived on the dime, small, simple, powerful. Now turn the coin over. The torch stands tall in the center. Flames rising upward. On the left, the olive branch. On the right, the oak branch. Peace and strength. Side by side. In 1976, America was celebrating 200 years of independence. Fireworks. Parades. Pride everywhere. While quarters and half dollars received special bicentennial designs, the Roosevelt dime quietly continued its classic look. No dramatic redesign. No loud announcement. Just steady production at the United States Mint, including the Denver facility in Denver. And that is where the small letter appears. A tiny D. That D mint mark tells you the coin was struck in Denver. In 1976, hundreds of millions of dimes were produced there. Copper-nickel clad. Built for circulation. Built to move. Built to be spent. So here is the truth, slow and clear. A dirty, worn, heavily circulated 1976 Roosevelt dime is worth 10 cents. Nothing magical. Nothing secret. Just face value. But do not stop listening yet. Because valuing coins is never about the date alone. It is about condition. It is about rarity. It is about errors. And sometimes, it is about perfection. Most 1976 dimes lived hard lives. They rattled in pockets. They slid across counters. They were dropped, scratched, and stacked in bank vaults. Over time, the details softened. Roosevelt's hair lost sharpness. The torch lines faded. These are common coins. Extremely common. But when a 1976 dime survives in extraordinary condition, blazing luster, razor-sharp strike, no wear, the story changes. Collectors chase high-grade coins certified at the very top of the grading scale. A near-perfect specimen can sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. Not because it is rare in existence, but because it is rare in perfection. And then there are mint errors. Coins struck off-center. Coins with double images. Coins clipped by mistake. Coins struck on the wrong planchet. These are accidents of machinery. Accidents that collectors love. A dramatic error on a 1976 dime can multiply its value far beyond face. The more visible and unusual the mistake, the stronger the demand. But here is where many videos exaggerate. A normal, worn 1976 dime will not make you a millionaire overnight. It will not secretly be worth millions just because it is old. Millions were made. Millions still exist. The coins that reach shocking prices are outliers. Certified, authenticated, preserved. Sometimes tied to rare minting anomalies. Sometimes graded at nearly flawless levels. The difference between 10 cents and a four-figure sale is microscopic, often invisible to an untrained eye. Still, the dream lives on. Because every collector knows that somewhere, in some roll of coins, in some forgotten jar, a rare error might still be waiting. That possibility keeps people searching. It keeps them examining dates under bright light. It keeps them learning. The 1976 Roosevelt Dime represents something powerful in American numismatics. It represents how common objects can carry uncommon stories. It represents how history flows quietly through everyday change. And it teaches an important lesson. Do not clean your coins. Do not polish them. Do not scratch them trying to improve them. Cleaning destroys collector value instantly. A natural, original surface is always preferred, even if it looks old. Especially if it looks old. If you believe you have something unusual, strong doubling, dramatic off-center strike, missing clad layer, or an exceptionally high-grade piece, have it evaluated by a professional grading service. Authentication is everything in high-value coins. So can a 1976 Roosevelt dime change your life? In ordinary condition, no. In extraordinary condition, possibly valuable. With a rare, dramatic mint error, significantly more valuable. But millions overnight? That level of value belongs to extreme rarities in U.S. coinage history, coins with tiny survival numbers and documented auction records. The real power of the 1976 dime is not fantasy. It is knowledge. It is understanding what makes a coin special. It is knowing the difference between hype and history. It is learning how condition, rarity, and demand work together. And once you understand that, every coin in your pocket becomes more interesting. Not because it will make you a billionaire overnight. But because sometimes, hidden among billions of ordinary strikes, there is one coin. That is different. Hold a 1976 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark in your hand. Do not rush. Do not assume. Just look at it closely. On the front, the steady profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt. A man whose leadership shaped modern America. His face has appeared on the dime since 1946, shortly after his passing. The coin was never just money. It was a tribute. A reminder of strength during hard times. Flip it over slowly. The torch stands in the center. Flames rising upward. On one side, the olive branch. On the other, the oak branch. Liberty. Peace. Strength. In 1976, the United States was celebrating 200 years of independence. Fireworks filled the skies. Special bicentennial designs appeared on quarters and half dollars. But the dime remained unchanged, steady, classic, quiet. It continued production at the United States Mint facilities, including Philadelphia, where coins traditionally carried no mint mark for circulation at that time. That missing mint mark is normal for Philadelphia in 1976. And here is where truth matters. A 1976 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark, heavily circulated, dirty, worn, is usually worth 10 cents. Face value. Nothing more. Hundreds of millions were produced. They moved through banks, stores, vending machines. They still exist in large numbers today. But listen carefully. Valuing coins is not only about the date. It is about condition. It is about rarity. It is about error. And sometimes, it is about survival. Most 1976 dimes lived rough lives. Scratches. Contact marks. Faded details. When a coin looks tired, collectors call it circulated. And circulated common coins remain common. However, if a 1976 no mint mark dime survives in exceptional condition, blazing mint luster, sharp details, untouched surfaces, it can command serious premiums. High-grade coins certified at the very top of the scale are surprisingly scarce. Collectors compete aggressively for coins graded near perfection. A coin that looks ordinary to one person can be extraordinary under professional evaluation. Then there are mint errors. A dramatic off-center strike. Strong doubling in the lettering. A clipped planchet. A missing clad layer exposing the copper core. These are mechanical accidents during production. They are rare compared to normal strikes. And when authenticated, they can raise a dime's value far above 10 cents. Not because it is old. Not because it is silver. But because it is unusual. Now let us slow down the fantasy. There is no verified 1976 Philadelphia circulation dime worth millions of dollars simply because it has no mint mark. That absence is standard. The stories of overnight billionaires from ordinary circulated dimes are exaggerations that spread quickly online. But that does not mean you should ignore your coins. The real power of coin collecting is knowledge. Understanding what makes a coin special. Understanding grading. Understanding how rarity works. Millions of 1976 dimes exist. But how many survive in flawless condition? Very few. How many display dramatic mint errors? Even fewer. That is where true value lives. Collectors do not chase hype. They chase scarcity in condition and authenticity. They look for coins that stand apart from the sea of common examples. They protect original surfaces. They avoid cleaning. Because cleaning destroys collector value instantly. If you believe your 1976 no mint mark dime looks different, sharper than normal, brighter than expected, or showing unusual features, the correct step is professional grading. Authentication transforms speculation into fact. The Roosevelt dime itself carries emotional weight in American history. It represents recovery after war. Stability during change. Continuity through decades. In 1976, during the bicentennial spirit, it quietly reminded Americans of enduring values, liberty, peace, and strength, through its torch and branches design. And that is the real story. Most 1976 no-mint mark dimes will always be worth 10 cents. Some high-grade examples can be worth much more. Rare, dramatic errors can bring significant premiums. But millions overnight? That belongs to ultra-rare documented anomalies in coin history, not standard circulated pieces. Still, every coin deserves a second look. Because sometimes the difference between ordinary and valuable is not visible at first glance. Sometimes it takes patience. Sometimes it takes learning. And once you understand that, you will never look at pocket change the same way again.